It's been a roller coaster. Well, I'm predicting that when I'm writing this anyway. Here's my guess. I've cried twice, bit more than that, and laughed more times than I can imagine. But I know one thing for sure. I'm so grateful to stand beside you and be your bridesmaid on such a wonderful day. Lauren, I don't know what I'd do without you. You've cheered me up and... Oh, God.
Oh. You got this. All right. Come on.
One sec, guys. You've cheered me up and... Oh, my God. It's okay.
You can do it.
I can't even talk. Right. Okay. You've cheered me up and carried me through the hardest moments and wound me up until I almost punch you in the face. But believe it or not, I actually enjoy it sometimes. Keyword, sometimes. So don't do it all the time. Now you have another person to wind up. Pete, just wanted to say, welcome to the fam, but you must know it is a strict no returns policy. You've been like the brother I never knew I needed for the past 3 years. I can't do it.
You got it.
And I'm so excited to be the immature kids we are for eternity.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Shelby, Cindy's older sister. Ooh, starting off strong. Oh, thank you. Public speaking is not something I would typically volunteer for, but for those of you that don't know me, there is nothing. Whoa, okay. Nothing I wouldn't do for Cindy. Okay, I thought I'd get further. Than this. So I will gladly get up here and talk about how I've had the privilege of knowing Cindy my entire life and her entire life. That's 26 years of love, lots of laughter, the occasional disagreement here and there. Very few. But most importantly, the blessing of having my sister as my best friend. I was making bets of who my mom and my dad would cry first, and it's me. I didn't think it would be me. Since the very first day, I have not taken the title of big sister lightly. And with that title came a responsibility to want to protect her. Protect her from every bad day, every disappointment, and every heartache. The relief I feel standing up here tonight, knowing that although a part of me will never completely want to stop protecting her, I am confident that Jay is the right person to hand it over to. Sydney, I would go on all night talking about all the reasons why you are my person, you are my best friend, so without getting too sentimental, Jay, I'm going to direct it to you. I know I don't need to stand here and tell you about all the amazing reasons why you married the greatest person alive. But I need to tell you thank you. I need to tell you thank you for making her the happiest she has ever been. I've seen her through all the ups and downs and all the reasons why I know that you are making her the happiest version of herself. I see that happiness in everything she does, and I see the confidence and comfort you bring her, and it's such a joy to witness. It means the most to me as her sister, it really does. And speaking for her entire family, we want nothing more. So even though everyone else went so long, I wish a lifetime of happiness for the both of you. An official welcome to the family for Jay, my brother. And cheers to the bride and groom. I love you both so much.
Okay. Sydney and Jay, are you ready? You ready for this? I didn't really think it'd take that long to, get off script, but actually I had a conversation with Lucas last night. And he asked me a question that had taken me, a bit off guard. He was talking about the family videos that we used to do all the time when the girls were young. He said, where did that come from? I mean, who's behind that? Who did that? I'm not really sure where that came from, whether it was her mother or me. Later on that night, last night, I probably didn't sleep like a lot of you, and I'm like, I'm going back to that thought that I had. And how come I couldn't answer that? And as I was thinking about it in deep thought, I'm like, it's easy. It's easy to answer that question. It's all about moments. The entire childhood and watching the girls grow, it was a moment. Okay, it's easy. And everything all those thoughts, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about now. They're moments. They're moments in time. And I'm going to talk about Jay first. The day that Jay and I met one another. And like a lot of people, the first time I saw Jay, it was the soft rollout Sydney had. And, followed up by many, many questions coming from Dad. And then I heard his name pop up here and there, along the way. And, then there was this day that arrived, and Sydney Shelby and I were going to be in Tampa. We were at this place, it's called Armature Works. We were going to knock out a little bit of work in the morning, and then I was going to catch a flight that afternoon. Sydney called me the night before, and she said, Jay has a little bit of work to do early in the morning, but he wants to have an opportunity to stop by where you can meet one another. And I'm thinking, okay, all right, here we go. So we're there in the morning, and Shelby and Sydney are working away. I'm trying to look like I'm working. And I'm thinking, who is this guy that's going to be walking into my life and our lives? And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm trying to do stuff on the laptop, and I'm looking up like, when is he going to walk through the door? When is he going to walk through the door? And then in walks Jay. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. He's handsome. He looks confident. And he's strong. I go, But I was thinking, okay, well, now's the test. We had an opportunity to, chat for a while. And then the time came where everybody was going to go their own way. And so Jay, back to work first. And I think I was just throwing something away in the trash. And Sydney knew she had about 15, maybe 30 seconds of alone time with me. And I was just off the side. I turn around and Sydney's right there. I mean, she is right there. And if you know Sydney, she's not going to wait for a phone call later on at night. She wanted to know right then and there. She said, Dad, what do you think? And I knew that was a moment. I knew it was a moment. I knew that it was once in a lifetime moment. And I said, Sydney, he has a beautiful soul. He has a beautiful soul. Sydney replied back, Dad, I'm not really sure I've ever heard you say that. And I go, you probably have not. And it's something that doesn't, that I just don't say. And that was an incredible moment. But even prior to that, when we were talking, there were so many times that Jay probably maybe didn't have any idea, maybe he did, that every time that, every opportunity I had, I would look into his eyes. And, and I'm just picturing, this man, and what was going through my mind is like, how can I have these feelings where I'm thinking, I can picture this guy with my daughter. I can. And I'm I'm just thinking, I can't even believe I'm saying it because I just met him. So I think, Jay, what I want to say now, and I think is probably the most important, is when you entrust someone with your daughter, I do not think that there is a greater compliment from one man to another. I trust you. I love you. You're a great guy. I love you. So that's Jay. Okay, Sydney, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Anyone that knows us knows how much Sydney and I love one another. They know our relationship. I truly believe, and I have always believed, that it is a father-daughter relationship that most people only dream about. I've always known that. And as I watched her grow throughout the years, it was so fun to watch the girls and their growth. But when I look at Sydney and think back of all the times, there's reoccurring memories that I always have. And I thought that maybe some of them, those memories to people might seem insignificant. You know, I mean, they're just my memories. And I'm thinking, you know, as a father of daughters, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as insignificant. They all were moments. Some of the memories that I have, and I won't go into them all because, I mean, I could literally be here all night. And I told Jay and Sydney, we had coffee the other morning, I go, they said, okay, Dad, how long are you going to be talking? You know, how long? I told her, I said, about 45 minutes. You know, I'll wrap it up. I will wrap it up. And if we have to have, if we have to have the intermission, we will, and then we'll get right back at it. So think about the bedtime stories, which to me, that was probably the most fun, right? I mean, we had a great time with that. And you know, of all the videos and everything we ever had, that was probably ones that I wish that I would have, whether they're videos or memory that is just etched in your brain, I'll never forget them. It was the weekends, early morning, you know, Sydney and I are early risers, you know, Sydney a little bit before me. You know, she'd get up, she would come into the bedroom, she would tap on my shoulder, not say a word. She would go. And I knew what that meant. We're going to play games. We're going to play games for the next couple hours before anybody else was thinking about getting up. And I loved it. We never had to say a word. We both knew. Time to play. It's the daddy-daughter dance. It's the soccer games that you guys, you know, all the tournaments that you had gone to. And even though it was a lot of fun going as a family, it was so much fun when we had to divide and conquer because you both were playing the same weekend. What that meant to me was it's quality time. It's bonding time. And I loved it because I always learned so much, you know, with the long travels and all those. They're just moments. And they all mean something. I love you. You know, I know there's fathers out there that will all say that, right? And I mean, I know they mean it. But there's one thing that always sticks out. I've never seen anyone love like you. Jay and I have had that discussion a few times. I knew that he was a lucky man. I told him he was a lucky man. I told him, you don't even know how lucky you are, but you will. And I think with you, Sydney, I love how you found your person. And Jay, I love how you found your person. And I think that as time goes, every conversation that you and I have, I like it more than the one before. And I get to know you that much more. And I look at this and I say, yes, yes, I am the father of the bride. I am. But I'm also, as of right now, I'm the father of the groom.